What is it, man? It's been a couple of days. Nigga ain't really been having too much on his mind. Been going through a little too much of bullshit. So I ain't really had time or the need or want to talk about anything on God. But tonight I want to talk about something that's kind of out there, but something everybody should think about. Right? There's a line in the Matrix where Morpheus said, "What's real and what's fake?" Right? How can you distinguish between real and fake when everything that you see, feel, touch, or taste is just electric pulses from the brain, right? So we really don't know what nothing tastes like. We really don't know what nothing smells like. And we really don't know if this world that we're actually looking through our eyes, seeing, is what it's supposed to be like. Right? That's why 95 or 90% of the richest people in the world are spending millions and billions of dollars to trying to find a way to break out of a simulation. Because they believe that we're living in a simulation. Mind you, this is a scientific notion or theory that's about 75% accurate, that they feel like we're living in a simulation. Certain things don't add up. It's computer codes in the galaxy. Our body is run on electricity that you can't even feel. But it's electricity coursing through your body all day, 24/7. Keep your heart pumping, letting you talk, letting you walk. It's then they're unnatural. Right? But that's like everything in the world. It's controlled off our brain impulses. So, with that being said, how do you know what's real and what's fake? How do you know? Because you feel it. I just told you, anything that you reach out and touch, it sends the electrical signal to your brain. Your brain sends the signal back to your hands, right back to your touch receptors, to let you feel, to tell you what you're feeling. And describing it to you the best way it can to your body to get the feeling. Same thing with smells. Same thing with taste. That's why some food, if you ever notice, depend on what they cooking or season that they use. When you smell it, you damn near can taste it. Same thing when you smelling something that stink hella much. You feel like that shit just got in your mouth. It's not necessarily because your nose and your mouth is connected deeper into your body. No, it's because the signals, it's hard for your signals to differentiate what it's doing. Is it tasting or is it smelling? After it get a certain potency of the scent, your brain go pick it up as a flavor and the smell. It's crazy. That's just another crazy theory that we got that's going on in the world. That when you think about it, they've been telling us this shit for years. With Matrix, the butterfly effect, any time traveling movie you ever seen or watched, TV show, anything of the sort dealing with time. Most of the people on there going back and forth. They're not following the obvious rules. You know what I'm saying, of law. They phasing in and out. They're altering reality. Like, in our eyes, we're thinking we're watching some sci-fi movie and they're just teleporting through time and all that. No, that's them basically trying to show us that this is an illusion and they ripping space and just moving through it. Right? Because time is a construct. Space is an illusion. So, in movies, or not just in movies, in real life, right? If we is governed in the universe and the world is not flat, there's things out in the universe or consoles or whatever you want to call it that they been in contact with the the world and whatever the case is, to the point where a lot of shit that's going on, we think they be putting this shit in movies and shit, and we think they just joking around. It's a sci-fi shit. It can't be real. No. Universal law. They have to tell you. They have to tell you whatever they doing. It don't have to be a direct. It don't have to be direct. It don't have to be exactly what it is. They could do like they been doing. Putting it in movies. Putting it in books. Put it on TV shows. Putting it in little stories. TikTok shows. Conspiracy theories. Anything like that is basically they letting you know. So if an alien invasion ever happened, you wouldn't think anything of it because they've been telling you this for the last 50, 60 years in movies about aliens, invasions, and shit like that. If you ever came across something like a werewolf or a shapeshifter or something, bro, they've been telling you about that shit in movies, TV shows, lore, in certain towns and shit. They speak about this type of shit for a reason. They're not just saying all this shit for bedtime stories and shits and giggles. You always have to remember some of these stories or legends or lores or fairy tales, whatever you want to call them, have some truth to them. Something happened most of these stories are from like 600-700 years ago, right? And they just keep getting retold, or 1,000 years ago. You never know. 300,000 years ago. You never know when people was passing stories around and they got a hold to the real story and buried it, and our motherfucker made a re-redemption of it and changed it around a little bit. But I only say that to say you can't believe everything that the government say, but you gotta believe some of this shit is some truth behind what they're doing and saying. They're not gonna come out right and tell you that it's a such thing as aliens. They're not gonna come out and tell you it's a such thing as fucking vampires and other bullshit. But they is trying to tell you now that it's a such thing as UFOs. But they don't want to tell you it's aliens. They just want to tell you they don't know what's flying in the sky. They don't want to release the document stating that they got aliens in captivity and shit. That shit. They're not gonna tell us that they got technology over 300 to 500 years advanced from us today. Meaning the government or whatever shadow government was going on have technology to teleport, technology to travel to other planets, deep explore the ocean. From what I'm knowing, that there's no way to go into space from the sky. I'll be watching a lot of shit, so I'm sorry. There's no way to get into space from the sky, right? That's why you never see nothing in the sky. Every time they try to send a rocket up there, that shit then they blow up and shit, right? The only way to get to space is to go under, right? They believe you gotta watch YouTube or conspiracy theories to find some of this shit out. But they believe that you have to travel down to go up, and underneath the water is why NASA and shit, people don't really go back down there like that. It's civilizations down there. There's other humans, it's aliens, and other creatures that's in their biggest cities down there, guarding the portal or the hole to actually get into space for nobody to leave. Right? So that's why they don't really go into deep exploring the ocean. I just did air quotes, but y'all can't see me. Right? But all this shit is just theories, right? And that's why I say, go back to my original point of this. How do you know what's real and what's fake? Everything could be real and everything could be fake. We as the things walking around on this planet, we will never know. We could never know until our untimely demise, right? That we ever die out or anything. But even then, so wouldn't we die? What do you think happened? We wake up? Or is it true that the moon is keeping us trapped on this planet? Like, there's so many theories out there that you should check it out. That's why I'm like, you gotta really pay attention to everything around you to figure out what's real or fake, right? Because another theory out there that's going on, like multiple theories that the moon is not from our solar system, right? If outer space is real and the plan is not fake, the plan or the Earth is not round or is round and there's no dome above us, They said that the moon is what came and brought the ice age. The second thing that came and killed the dinosaurs off. So the first thing that killed some of the dinosaurs off was supposedly a meteor, but you can't find that site nowhere on Earth, right? If it drastically changed and altered Earth atmosphere, broke Pangea up into the continents that you see today, where is the evidence? It should have been a big-ass crater somewhere on Earth, deep in the ocean, on one of these landmass, somewhere, or a big-ass volcano, right? I don't give a fuck if it was a billion years or not, it was a rock from outer space, bro. That motherfucker, if it crash landed and didn't blow up, it should still be found somewhere. If they didn't mine that motherfucker a billion years ago, because like I said, well, not like I said, because I ain't never spoken about this in on none of my podcasts yet, but if you know me, I done said this multiple times. Whatever, I'm not religious, right? So I don't believe in that there's one God, right? I believe there's multiple types of gods or things out there that shape the universe or reality as we see today. And humans from a million or a billion years ago or a million years ago, there was get out the notion that there wasn't humans when dinosaurs was around, okay? Because there was. And they already found multiple footprints alongside dinosaur bones, right? Fossilized footprints of a human or something of a human stature. So if you ever believe that humans wasn't around a million years ago, please toss that out. All right? That's why I keep saying you don't know what's real and what's fake. Toss it out. They let you believe that human race is only about like 10,000 years old, 50,000 or some shit like that, bro. Don't believe the hype. Don't. This world is way older than that, and we're way older. A species, this version of human is about 100,000 years old. Because in the Anunnaki tablets and the Sumerian tablets, pretty much, they told you about beings coming here, Enki and his brother coming here and altering our DNA and making us a slave race. Okay? They talk about that. People coming from outer space and making us humans that was already here, made it with the humans that was already here and thriving and had their own civilizations and cultures and languages and all that was connected throughout the whole world, right? We was all connected. They came down here and put a blocker on our DNA. So they put a blocker on your DNA. You don't believe it? Look it up yourself. Look at your DNA sequence. There's a blocker on there. There's something that they can't identify. None of the scientists in the world, something that's blocking on our DNA that they don't know what did that. Something came and did not make us greater. So everybody that's religious, I'm sorry if I'm getting I always get off topic towards the end because I start getting passionate about the thing I'm talking about. But this one right here, I'm talking to all my religious people. Stop believing that a God came here and altered our monkey's DNA and helped us evolve into humans or placed us here and we was just the goodest of all since he put us here. No, was humans here before something came and altered our DNA. I don't know. I wasn't there back then, so I can't call it a God. Or I can't say gods are real or not because I ain't never seen none and I ain't never seen no miracle to believe in one. So I'm going to say something came and fucked our DNA up and put a blocker on it. That's why this version of human race ain't as nearly as smart as the human race, that the civilization that came before us. Right? Because we're making the same problems, same mistakes. Their technology down there was on par with ours, except in a different way. They wasn't using crude oil and electricity as we see it today. But they had power. They was doing open brain and open heart surgery. Now, let's not forget about these things. They was well-versed in medicine, well-versed in languages and cultures from all around the world, just in single parts of the world. So it's far-fetched to believe that something came and made us better than that back then. In reality, when we're damn near dumber than we ever been. Half the world is damn near hooked on drugs. Half the world is homeless. Half the world don't give a fuck about the other half. Back then, everybody was damn near connected except for small scrimmages. But those was fought for